Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTracker.com, and today we're going to break down the Cox Racing Radiator Guard install in our 2018 STG Kawasaki Ninja 400 project bike. We actually got a request for this video last week, and look at that, you asked for it, and we do it at your service here at STG. The stuff has been ordered, installed, video shot, radiator guard install. Why would you want to do this on your Ninja 400 or any other bike that you ride? You'd want to do it because the radiator is a vulnerable part, whether you're on the street or on the racetrack. When you're out there, especially on track where everybody's on these sticky tires like these Michelin Evo Power Cups, right? Those tires are grabbing debris from the track. It can be pieces off bikes. It can be hunks of asphalt, depending on what track you're at, right? Rocks, all these different things, and flinging them back at you. Then, of course, you have your own tire that is doing the same thing. The fender stops a lot of it, but the truth is, because you need airflow over the radiator, that spot is wide open and all that stuff just drives in there. Installing a radiator guard over the radiator disrupts the airflow very little, so you don't really lose cooling, but it protects it from those debris and helps prevent the fins from being folded over. When the fins get folded over, you lose efficiency from your radiator, so you reduce the cooling effect a little bit. And it also helps prevent having one of the rows in the core ruptured. That happens, you've got a coolant leak. If you're a street rider with a coolant leak or a track rider with a coolant leak, that stuff can end up spraying all over tires. Next thing you know, you're laying on the ground because of that mechanical, and that's usually not a great crash. The other thing that can happen is you're stranded, right? You got to get a tow truck. You can't finish your race. You can't finish your track weekend. This is cheap insurance to help prevent that. In this video, we're going to show you what it takes to install that on our Ninja 400. This bike has race bodywork on it now. If you're a street rider, you need to take the bodywork off. If you're a track rider, you need to take the bodywork off to do this install. We have several of our street mod videos where we remove and reinstall the street bodywork. Please look to those. For street riders, you wouldn't need to remove the nose fairing to do this install, but you would need to remove both side panels. And like I said, several videos already on our channel and our website that cover how to do that. For track guys, you already have track fairings. Just pull everything off, get yourself some good, easy access. Okay, radiator guard kit install from Cox Racing. This is for our Ninja 400. First thing I did is when I cleaned the bike after returning from the racetrack last weekend, made sure I cleaned the radiator too. You can already see that there is, a little bit of damage to the fins. When you're out there on track, these tires are really sticky. Even on the street, the tires are sticky. We all want that traction, right? It picks up debris from the road or the racetrack, and it can get flung up. Bikes in front of you especially are what are really flinging all that debris up, and you're charging right towards it, right into the radiator. Your worst case scenario is, of course, that it fractures one of the rows in the core and you start leaking coolant. You start leaking coolant on a bike, nothing good happens from there. Installation of this kit is pretty straightforward. You can see I've already got the race bodywork removed from our Ninja 400. If you have street body work, you're gonna have to pull that. If you have race body work, pull that as well. You need good access to this area. They do include a step-by-step instruction kit. It's a very basic installation. At the end of the day, you are simply using cable ties to install this on the bike. The Ninja is a very simple kit. The first thing we're gonna do is pull the label off. You don't wanna leave that there. That's just gonna block airflow. Now, let's go ahead and kind of mock up the radiator guard itself just to see how it's going to sit on this bike. Okay, right in between that. I've got the fans removed from this motorcycle. It's used on racetrack now specifically, so there's no need for cooling fans. Okay, so that just slides right on there. The cable ties are going to pass through a hole that you'll find between the end tanks and the braces found at the top of the core and the bottom of the core itself. That aluminum brace spans from tank to tank. I'm going to thread that through like so. You can tell how the radiator guard is going to be oriented on the bike by the logo. You want that on the bottom corner. Slide this cable tie up and through. And just get it started. Now we'll go to the other side and position the top cable tie in a similar fashion. Okay, now we'll grab the next one and get it positioned down here on the bottom. Certainly the most difficult part of this project is going to be the bodywork removal and reinstallation. If you've got race bodywork on your Ninja 400, that will have been simplified quite a bit. If you still have street bodywork, we have several videos that were shot during the street mod portion of this build where we show you how to remove the bodywork. At the end of the day, it's really not too difficult because this radiator guard mod is something that, you know, we would say is appropriate for both street and track riders alike. You get a hole in your radiator on a street ride, you're stranded, you're in a tow truck scenario, nobody likes that shit, which makes this a worthwhile investment on the street, just like the track. Okay, now, once you have all of the cable ties started, what I want you to do is now let's really get serious about positioning this radiator guard. And see how I kind of pushed it over, right? These two mounts right here, okay? Slides right over those two. To tighten these up. Come down to the bottom, same thing. Once I make sure that I've got them pulled tight all the way, I want to trim off the excess. Like so. Come over the other side. Same deal. This one's kind of hiding behind the coolant overflow bottle just a little bit. One down here. This is a part we keep in stock on the shelf here at STG for the Ninja 400. As we feel it's a pretty worthwhile mod. Okay, there you have it. There is your basic installation. When we come back, we'll tie this all up and have the race bodywork back on the bike. There you have it. As you can see, this is a pretty easy install. I've got the bike all put back together. We're getting ready to head to Grattan Raceway with Wira in just over a week. I'm going to race this thing against my kid on his R3 and do the best I can to whoop his butt. If you have any questions, just leave those in the comments section of this video. I answer all that myself. I hope you guys see that we put a lot of effort into helping you all get the same results from your projects that we do on ours here at STG.